Okay, so let's start this deep dive with a really specific image. I want you to picture a scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's Saturday, July 31st, 1999. We're in Red Hook, Brooklyn. And you walk into this studio apartment. It's an artist space, right?
Yeah, I can just feel it. The high ceilings, the smell of turpentine, maybe.
Exactly. And it's got these enormous, beautiful north-facing windows.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of windows you rent a place for, specifically for that light to see the city skyline.
That's the kind of light that promises, clarity or
Yeah.
art or maybe a new beginning. It implies openness, doesn't it? It suggests that whatever happens in this room is going to be illuminated.
Truthful.
It should be. But the reality inside this room is, well, it's the exact opposite of openness. It's the end of something.
It's a cage.
A cage. In the center of the room, there's a woman. Her name is Elizabeth Dimitros, and she is not painting. She's not sculpting.
No.
She is bound. She is chained to this heavy walnut office chair. Handcuffs, shackles, the works. And she's just sitting there waiting. It's such a jarring image to start with. I mean, the contrast is just so stark. You have all these symbols of freedom, those windows, the skyline right there, the neon glow of the city. Right. And you put that right up against these symbols of absolute captivity.
Mm-hmm.
And not just, being tied up. It's calculated. It's methodical restraint. The text mentions she's already tested the chains. She knows she can't break them. She's weary of fighting.
And what's really chilling is her internal monologue right here. She's worried. She's actually worried that her struggles have scratched the antique chair she's tied to.
I know. It's incredible.
Her wrists are raw. She's terrified for her life. But she's thinking about the finish on the walnut wood. She's thinking, and this is a quote, "The knowledge that her struggles had scraped the foul and dirt-encrusted bonds over the polished antique hurt almost as badly."
And that one detail tells us everything we need to know about Elizabeth right from the jump. She is an appreciator of things. She respects history. She respects objects.
She has a reverence for them.
A reverence, that's the word. She treats them with a dignity that, ironically, she isn't being shown at all in this moment. And that trait, that very specific ability to see the value, the life in the inanimate, that's exactly what led her into this trap.
It's her superpower.
It's her superpower, and in this context, it is her fatal flaw.
So, okay, our mission for this deep dive is to figure out how she got there. How does a mild-mannered art historian, someone who restores antique furniture for a living, end up bound in chains by a creature who claims he's a god?
It is a descent. That's what we're tracking here. A descent from the polite, dusty world of high-end Manhattan antiques into a literal and metaphorical underworld.
It really is.
It's a story about the seduction of knowledge, for sure, and the mask of civility that can hide, well, ancient monstrosity. But I think it's also a story about collateral damage, about what happens to the people caught in a war they don't even know is happening.
I have some key artifacts to track along the way, some breadcrumbs. We have a cherrywood desk. It's named Sleipnir. We have a very mysterious statue called the Eye. And we have a single bead of red stone that seems to pulse with a life of its own.
And these aren't just props. That's what's so important to get. In this story, the objects are the catalysts. They are the things that pull the characters together and then just tear them apart. Elizabeth herself is called the string of the pendulum by the antagonist.
Swinging between these items.
Exactly. She thinks she's the historian, the observer, but she slowly realizes she's just another component in a machine that she can't even begin to understand.
So let's rewind. Let's go back to the beginning of the end. June 21st, 1999, Rutherford House, an upscale antique dealer in Manhattan.
The Upper East Side. You can picture it, the kind of place where you don't ask the price. You have your people talk to their people. It's all eggshell walls and velvet displays and these hushed, whispered conversations.
It's safe.
It's controlled. It's the absolute antithesis of where we end up.
And Elizabeth Dimitros is working there. She's not on the sales floor at first. She's in the back. She's restoring this beat-up old typewriter desk. And this is where we get our meet cute, if you can even call it that.
It's more like a meeting of a predator and its prey, though of course Elizabeth doesn't know that yet. She's working on this desk, she's gently cleaning off decades of grime, and then this voice just comes out of the shadows. It's Hesha Ruhadze.
Now, we need to spend a minute on Hesha, because on the surface, he's perfect, almost unnervingly so.
He's described as complete and perfectly sculpted. Dark skin, gleaming like mahogany. He's wearing this charcoal gray suit that makes a tuxedo look casual. He exudes wealth, culture, and a very, very specific kind of power.
It's not just that he's handsome. The text says he's complete. That word choice is so interesting. It implies he lacks nothing, needs nothing, he's totally self-contained.
And a closed system.
Yes. But he's interested in this junk desk. This battered old thing Elizabeth has nicknamed Sleipnir. He just appears and asks if it's for sale.
And this is the test. It's the first test, and she doesn't even know she's taking it. He asks her why she's bothering with it. He points out, it's not worth anything financially, and she launches into this incredibly passionate defense of the desk.
She talks about it like it's a person. She calls it he. She talks about the cigarette burns, the ink stains, the whole history of the writer who must have owned it. She calls herself a little animist.
I love that line. And then she gives it the name. She says, he is a war horse. Sleipnir.
Which is the eight-legged horse of Odin from Norse mythology. A steed that can travel between worlds.
Which is so prophetic, isn't it? And all this time, Hesha is watching her. He's not really looking at the desk. He's looking at her. He's assessing her. He is gauging her capacity to connect with inanimate objects.
You need someone who can feel the history in a stone.
Because he has a very specific stone he can't figure out, he needs that empathy she has for the object. Most people look at a desk and see wood. Elizabeth looks at that desk and sees a life, a story. And Hesha desperately needs that vision.
He's headhunting.
He is absolutely headhunting. But then the mask slips, just for a fraction of a second. Elizabeth is showing him an Egyptian collar, something with lapis lazuli. And Hesha, he almost faints. He sways. He nearly collapses.
Yeah, the text says he gets this bright flash inside his eyes. He senses something called the Eye of Hesha.
And this is a crucial moment for us to understand the dynamic here. Externally, Hesha just plays it off. He apologizes. He's charming. He spins this lie about a dizzy spell, maybe low blood sugar.
Smooth. So smooth.
Incredibly. But internally, we get access to his thoughts, and he is a master manipulator. He immediately realizes the eye is active, that it's free somewhere, and he must find it. And Elizabeth, standing right there, just became the most important tool in his arsenal.
Let's just pause on the Eye of Hesha for a second. Why does he have such a violent physical reaction to it? Is he just, like, supernaturally sensitive?
It goes so much deeper than sensitivity. To understand Hesha, you have to understand that he is a Setite, a follower of the Egyptian god Set. In the lore of this world, they're a clan of vampires who trace their lineage all the way back to this dark god.
So it's a religion for him.
A very real, very bloody religion. And Hesha was an ancient, terrifyingly powerful vampire, an antediluvian or something very close to it. So for a vampire of Hesha's bloodline, a piece of Hesha's body, even just an eye, it radiates this immense, terrifying power. It's like a Geiger counter going off next to a reactor core. It physically staggers him.
But he recovers instantly. That's the scary part, isn't it?
That is the terrifying part. He doesn't panic. He adapts. He thinks, okay, the artifact is near. This woman has touched something related to it. I need her. It's pure cold calculation. He overrides his own physiological shock just to maintain the charade.
And he doesn't waste a single second. He leaves the shop, gets into his custom bulletproof car, because of course he has a bulletproof car.
Shucks.
And immediately orders a full background check on Elizabeth Dimitros.
And this background check is just, it's heartbreakingly efficient. It reveals exactly why Elizabeth is the perfect target. It's not just her skills as an art historian, it's her life.
She's completely isolated.
Utterly. Her father died recently, a stroke, just 2 months after she got her master's degree. And her mother blames her for the death because her father hated her career choice.
Wow.
Yeah. Her brother's on the other side of the country, in California. She doesn't even have a permanent address. She's basically living at the antique shop.
She's brilliant. She's capable. But she is emotionally untethered. She's adrift.
And predators like Hesha, they look for exactly that. A pawn who has nowhere else to go. A person who is hungry for connection, for purpose, even if she wouldn't admit it to herself. He sees weaknesses that he can turn into strengths for his own organization.
And if she disappears?
Who's coming to look for her? No husband, no worried parents, no kids. She's a ghost in the system, just waiting to be claimed.
So the seduction begins. And it's not really a romantic seduction, is it? It's more intellectual.
It's a seduction of the mind. He invites her to dinner. He engages her, asks about her thesis, about her theories on animism. He makes her feel seen, feel valued for her unique perspective.
And then the trap springs. He convinces her to come with him to Maryland.
And the pretext is safety. This part is key because it grounds the supernatural story in something very real and very frightening for that time. There are news reports of riots, of terrorist attacks in Atlanta and D.C.
Chaos.
Chaos. And Hesha uses it. He claims he needs to protect her because by examining a certain bead related to the eye, she's been exposed to dangerous knowledge. She's a target now, and only he can keep her safe.
So she leaves New York her whole life and goes to this place called Laurel Ridge Farm in Columbia, Maryland. And this is where the story shifts from a kind of Manhattan drama to straight-up gothic horror.
It becomes the Gilded Cage. The farm is beautiful, it's luxurious, but it's a fortress. It has bunkers, state-of-the-art security systems, and Hesha has assembled this cast of characters there to play house.
It's all about creating this perfect bubble of isolation. The world outside is supposedly burning down, so you have to stay here, inside the nice, safe walls, with the nice, handsome man in the suit.
And his family.
Let's talk about the family. First up, we have Ronald Thompson.
Thompson is such a fascinating character. He's the head of security. He's an ex-cop. He's weary. He's cynical. He plays the role of the older brother to Elizabeth.
He's the approachable one.
Exactly. He makes the coffee. He jokes with her. He feels safe. He's the human face of the operation.
But he's also fully aware of what Hesha is, right? He's not in the dark.
Oh, absolutely not. He's complicit. Deeply, but he's also deeply conflicted. He genuinely likes Elizabeth, he sees her humanity, and it starts to remind him of his own, which he feels he's been slowly losing by serving Hesha.
He's tired.
He's so tired of the game. He represents the human cost of living in Hesha's world. He's what happens when you stay too long.
And then we have the Asp.
Ah, yes, Angelo Mercurio. Or is it Raphael? Or Gabriel? He plays the houseboy, the cook, the flirt.
But he's actually
a set of identical twins. Both are trained assassins. He plays this harmless, charming servant, but he's absolutely lethal. He even jokes with Elizabeth, "I bite." It's a literal truth, just disguised as a flirtation.
So it's all a charade. Hesha's directing this elaborate play, all designed to keep Elizabeth comfortable and docile while she works.
And the work is the restoration of the eye.
Describe this thing for us. The source makes it sound intense.
It is. It's a statue. Inky blue, red, and jet black stone. It's described as fierce, writhing, grotesque. It's covered in images of broken axes and shattered weapons. It's not just a piece of art. It feels dangerous. It has an energy to it.
And Elizabeth's job is to restore it, to clean it. But that's not the real job, is it?
Not at all. Hesha is using her as a dowsing rod.
He's watching her reactions to it.
Constantly. He wants to see if her sensitivity can help him sense where its missing pieces are. He's using that same trait that made her love the old desk to track down what is essentially a supernatural weapon of mass destruction. He is weaponizing her empathy.
And things get weird. Fast. Elizabeth starts sleepwalking.
This is the turning point in Maryland. The artifact is definitely affecting her, or maybe it's just the proximity to Hesha himself. She sleepwalks right past all the security into the most secure sector of the house, into the crypt.
A crypt? Because Hesha doesn't sleep in a four-poster bed.
No, he sleeps in a stone sarcophagus like a pharaoh. And Thompson is the one who finds her there. The scene is this tableau of horror and a strange kind of beauty.
What does he see?
He sees Elizabeth in her nightgown, weeping over Hesha's cold, dead-like body. She's mourning him as if he's actually dead. It creates this bizarre, tragic intimacy. She's somehow connecting with the death at his core.
And the room is full of snakes.
Whipperheads. They're his guardians. This is a very set-type motif. Serpents are sacred to their god. They don't attack her, but when Thompson tries to get her out, they strike him.
And he gets bitten.
Badly.
Multiple bites. He's dying. And this leads to a scene that I think just perfectly defines the power dynamic in that house. Hesha has to heal Thompson.
He uses his blood. He uses his blood. Vampiric vitae. He forces Thompson to drink it, to heal the snake bite, to burn out the poison. It is a moment of absolute dominance. It's not medical, it's mystical and terrifying. He's reasserting his godhood over his servant.
And it's also an addiction, right, that blood?
It is the most addictive substance on earth in this setting. So giving it to Thompson isn't just healing him, it's rechaining him, forging the bonds even tighter.
But it also cracks Thompson's loyalty, doesn't it? It seems to have the opposite effect in the long run.
It does, because Thompson sees Elizabeth's reaction later.
Yeah.
She's terrified for him. She's trying to help him. And he realizes that Elizabeth isn't innocent in a way he isn't anymore. He starts to feel this need to protect her, not just guard her for Hesha. He sees himself in the mirror of her innocence, and he absolutely hates what he's become.
And Elizabeth, meanwhile, is starting to wake up to the reality of her situation. She figures out the Asp is actually twins. She knows she's being watched 24/7. So she confronts Hesha. She demands to know what is going on.
And to his credit, in a way, he tells her. A piece of the truth, at least. He admits he is deathless. He drops the first veil. He tells her, and this is another one of those lines that just sticks with you, "I am the dead priest of a dead god."
A dead priest of a dead god.
It's his core identity. This is so important. He doesn't see himself as a monster. He He sees himself as a servant of Set. He believes he is righteous. And that's what makes him so much more dangerous than a simple predator. He's not doing this for fun or for power in the way we'd think of it. He's doing it for a religious cause.
He thinks he's a holy man.
A holy man with very, very bloody rituals. He genuinely believes he is saving the world, or at least his corner of it, from something far worse.
But the trail of the eye doesn't end in Maryland. It leads them away. They have to go to the source of its power.
Which means they're going to Calcutta.
Into the storm.
Literally. It is monsoon season in Calcutta. The city is flooded. The streets are ankle-deep in water and, filth. It's such a stark, visceral contrast to the sterile luxury of the Maryland farm or the polished floors of the antique shop.
The atmosphere is just suffocating. You can feel it in the descriptions.
It is. And the supernatural landscape is just as chaotic as the weather. The local vampires are in a panic. The Rakshasa, the demons of India, are waking up. There's a war brewing in the shadows. The text mentions the curse of the deer and the war of the Rakshasa are playing out. It's political turmoil on a supernatural scale.
So Hesha has to navigate this political minefield. He meets with the so-called Prince of Calcutta, an old British vampire named Lord Abernethy. He deals with the Nosferatu, the sewer dwellers. But the real horror, the moment that changes everything for Elizabeth, comes when he tries to meet a contact, a man named Michel.
Michel is a Tremere wizard, a blood mage. He's supposed to have information that can help Hesha find the source of the eye's power. But when Hesha goes to meet him at the hotel, Michel is attacked.
By an invisible force.
An Assamite assassin, a member of a clan of vampire assassins. And here's where the deep dive gets really, really dark. Hesha gives chase. He bursts out of the hotel into the monsoon rains, and Elizabeth follows him.
Which is just...
Yes.
It's incredibly brave, but also incredibly foolish.
It's both. She's running barefoot in the mud and the filth, trying to keep up with these two supernatural creatures battling in the storm.
She sees him change, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah. She sees him transform into something reptilian, something monstrous with scales and claws. He's using a discipline, probably Serpentis, to physically shift his form into a pure killing machine. He's faster, stronger. He catches the assassin.
And the assassin looks like a child.
An 8-year-old girl. Naked, with obsidian black skin, and this is the moment that just breaks Elizabeth.
Because he said doesn't hesitate.
He brutally kills this child. He snaps her neck. He stomps on her. It is visceral, horrific violence. And Elizabeth is watching this, and she just screams at him, "You killed a baby!" She's hysterical. For her, the veil is not just lifted, it's ripped to shreds.
And his response is just ice cold.
He's cold, he's pragmatic. He tries to explain to her that it wasn't a child. It was an ancient assassin who had been trapped in the form of a child for centuries. A weapon, he says. My enemies took that child, trained her, killed her, and turned her into an assassin.
Which, in the context of his world, is probably true.
It is true. The Assamites are known for that tactic. They take children, embrace them as vampires, and train them into these perfect, innocent-looking killers. It's a horrifying practice, but it's a known one.
But for Elizabeth... For a human, It's the point of no return.
Absolutely. To a human art historian from New York City, there is no context where stomping on a child is okay. It doesn't matter what the lore is. She finally realizes that no matter how cultured he is, no matter how nice the dinner was, he is a creature that can crush a child's skull without blinking an eye.
So she asks him the real question.
She asks, "What are you?" And she really means it this time. She's not asking about his job or his family. She's asking about his soul. She sees the monster beneath the suit.
But she's stuck, isn't she? She's in Calcutta, in the middle of a monsoon, with no passport, no money. She has to keep working with him.
She has no choice. And the work leads them to the Red King's tomb. But to get there, they have to team up with a character named Khalil Ravana.
And Khalil is a piece of work.
That's putting it mildly. He's a Ravnos vampire. And the Ravnos are masters of illusion, trickery, chaos. And this particular Ravnos, Khalil, is possessed, or at least he's hearing voices, having visions. He's their only guide.
So he leads them into this place called the Gray Town.
It's a flooded, surreal landscape of illusions and poverty. They're climbing over rooftops, walking through walls that shouldn't be there. It's described like entering a fever dream.
They end up climbing down a hidden chimney into a secret chamber.
A hidden temple, and when they drop in, the first thing Elizabeth sees is the room just covered in rats and rotting corpses. She screams, she panics, but then Hesha, who knows what he's dealing with, just commands the illusion to drop.
It was all fake.
All a Ravnos illusion, a kind of supernatural security system. Once it drops, it's just a stone room. But the walls, The walls are covered in these incredible reliefs.
Murals.
Murals depicting an ancient city falling to invaders. And this one central figure, a king called the Red King. He has mismatched eyes, and he's shown commanding beasts and demons.
This is Ravana, the demon king from their mythology.
The original Ravana. And as Elizabeth is interpreting this art, doing the one job she was hired to do, Khalil betrays them. He becomes fully possessed by the spirit of the Red King, and he attacks Elizabeth.
And Hesha saves her again.
He does. He stakes Khalil. He kills his own ally to save his human tool.
Nah.
But he makes it very, very clear to Elizabeth. He says, I saved you because you are irreplaceable.
Not because I care about you.
No, because you are the string of the pendulum. She is the tool he needs to find the eye. It is a purely utilitarian statement.
But is it just utilitarian? Is he telling himself that?
That's the complex part, isn't it? I think he's conflicted. We see these little moments where he'll touch her hair while she sleeps or comfort her after the nightmare in the hotel. But he suppresses it. He has to. To him, affection is a weakness. It's a distraction from his holy service to Set. So he convinces himself he's keeping her alive only for her utility, because the alternative that he's starting to care, maybe even love her, is impossible for him to accept.
He's a priest. He can't love the sacrifice.
Perfectly put. He cannot love the sacrifice.
So they have the clue. The murals tell them where the source of the eye's power is. And the irony is just, it's palpable. It's not in India.
No. After all that, it's in upstate New York.
They traveled halfway around the world. They fought demons and assassins, waded through liberal sewage just to be sent back to a cave a few hours' drive from where they started.
It's a classic narrative circle, isn't it? But they aren't the same people who left New York. Elizabeth is broken, Thompson is wavering on the edge of rebellion, and Hesha is getting desperate. He's running out of time.
So they fly back. They head to this cave system. But they aren't the only ones there.
No. Their rival is already there. Jordan Kettridge. He's an archaeologist, an old enemy of Hesha. He's the Indiana Jones to Hesha's Balak, if you will.
A mortal hunter.
A very capable mortal hunter. He knows Hesha is a monster, and he's hunting the eye to destroy it, not use it. He represents the human resistance to the supernatural world.
And this is where the tragedy of Ronald Thompson finally plays out.
Thompson has been struggling this whole time. He's so sick of the lies, the violence, the monster he works for. He looks at Elizabeth and he sees a way out. Not for himself, maybe, but for her. He wants to save her.
It's his shot at redemption.
It is. He and Elizabeth are paired up to search the caves. They end up having to climb up a narrow chimney in the rock. Thompson, being the protector, goes up first. He reaches the top.
And Kettridge is waiting there, in the dark, with a crossbow.
Oh, man. The timing is just brutal.
Kettridge can't see who it is. He just knows someone is coming up. He assumes it's Hesha, and he fires blindly into the dark.
And he hits Thompson.
Staked. Right through the chest.
It's a fatal wound for a mortal. The bolt pierces his heart. Elizabeth scrambles up after him and finds him dying. And this scene, this is the emotional core of the entire story.
It really is.
Thompson is lying there, bleeding out, and Elizabeth's first instinct is to call Hesha for help. She thinks, he healed the snake bite, he can heal this.
She wants to save him. She has to try.
Of course she does. But Thompson stops her. He grabs her hand. He begs her, don't call him.
Why? He's dying. Hesha is literally the only person in the world who can save him.
Because he finally understands the price. If Hesha saves him now, the bond will be absolute. He won't just be an employee anymore. He'll be a ghoul. A slave forever. He'll never be free of the monster.
So he chooses death.
He chooses humanity. He looks at Elizabeth and he says, I don't want to be like him. And his last words, his dying wish, is, watch me run. He's running away from the monster in the only way he has left. He dies smiling because he's finally free. It's utterly heartbreaking, but it's also a victory for him. It's the only real victory a human gets in this entire story. He reclaims his soul at the very last second.
Meanwhile, Hesha is coming up the same path. Kettridge resets his trap. He tries to ambush him next. He shoots Hesha with another stake.
And here we get the big aha moment for the lore nerds in the audience. The stake hits Hesha dead center, and nothing happens. He doesn't die. He doesn't turn to dust.
Why? Why doesn't it work?
Because he's a high-ranking Setite. He's performed a ritual called the Heart of Darkness. He has, through surgery and magic, removed his own heart. It's not in his chest anymore.
Wait, what? Where is it?
It's likely in a clay jar somewhere, probably in a hidden temple in Sudan or Egypt. It makes him immune to staking.
That is That's terrifying.
It is. So the stake, it's just a piece of wood hitting dead meat. It hurts him, sure, but it doesn't paralyze him or kill him like it would a normal vampire.
And he plays dead, though. He collapses.
He does. He's clever. He wants to listen. He wants to see what Elizabeth does now that she thinks he's dead.
He hears Kettridge and Elizabeth talking. He hears her mourning Thompson. And he hears Elizabeth make a choice.
A fateful choice.
She doesn't stake Hesha's body again to make sure. She just leaves him.
She hopes he's dead. But there's a part of her that hesitates. She admits to Kettridge that she might be in love with Hesha, or at least fascinated by him, even while she hates what he is. She says she hates him, but she can't bring herself to desecrate the body, that old reverence for things.
And Hesha hears all of this.
He hears every single word. He hears her confusion, her fear, her betrayal, and her strange, twisted loyalty all mixed together.
So this brings us to the final act, back to where we started, Brooklyn. Saturday, July 31st.
The circle closes. Elizabeth is back in her apartment. She's alone, or at least she thinks she is. She's trying to process everything that's happened. But then the door opens, and Hesha is there.
He survived.
He survived. He has the eye, and he has come for her.
He binds her to the chair, and he reveals that he knows everything. He knows she let Kettridge go. He knows she didn't try to save him.
But his logic is so twisted, he accuses her of killing Thompson.
Wait, how does he get to that? Kettridge shot Thompson. That's a fact.
In Hesha's mind, it was Elizabeth who made Thompson soft. She distracted him with her humanity. She made him want to be a hero instead of a loyal soldier. If Thompson had just been the cold, efficient guard dog he was supposed to be, he would have killed Kettridge without a thought.
Because he cared about Elizabeth, he hesitated. He died.
Exactly. Therefore, in Hesha's perverse logic, Elizabeth killed him.
That is, wow. That is the logic of a true monster.
It is. It's gaslighting on a cosmic scale. It's a way for him to shift the blame. Hesha can't accept that his own machinations, his own quest, got his most loyal friend killed. So he blames the temptation. He blames the victim for being human.
And he says he has to kill her.
He calls her a burden on his will. He openly admits that she is a temptation he cannot afford. He's afraid of his own feelings for her. He knows that if he keeps her alive, he might become weak. He might start to care more about her than about his mission for his god.
So, to purify himself.
To rededicate himself fully to Set, he has to make a sacrifice. He has to kill her.
The ending is ambiguous, though. The text doesn't show the final blow. He just starts chanting.
He begins a ritual in an ancient language. The narrative fades to black, essentially. We don't see it happen. But the implication is absolutely chilling. He isn't killing her out of anger or revenge. He's killing her because she matters too much. He is surgically excising the part of himself that is still capable of love.
It's a tragedy on both sides, then.
It really is. Elizabeth was smart. She was brave. She was resilient. I mean, she survived snakes, assassins, demons, and months of psychological torture. But in the end, she was up against forces that play by entirely different rules. She brought a flashlight to a gunfight against a god.
And Hesha.
Hesha destroys the one genuine connection that could have pulled him back from the brink of total monstrosity. He chooses his hollow god over a living, breathing reality. He chooses the tomb over the woman.
So, after all that, what does this story mean for us? Why does it stick with you?
I think at its core, it's a profound warning about the seduction of knowledge. Elizabeth just wanted to know the history of the desk, the story of the statue. She wanted to dig deep. But sometimes when you dig too deep, the history bites back. It's a reminder that there are things in the world, metaphorically speaking, of course, that are ancient and hungry, and they do not care about our modern rules of civility or morality.
It's also about the masks people wear, isn't it? Hesha wore this perfect mask of the cultured gentleman, the patron of the arts. But under that, there was a dead priest. And under that, a beast.
And we all wear masks, right? But hopefully ours don't hide monsters that eat children. It forces you to ask, how well do you really know the people who offer you safety when the world starts to get scary?
Hopefully not. So, okay, here's a final question for you, for our listeners, to mull over tonight. If you were offered a look into history, real, living, dangerous history, would you take it?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Even if you knew the monster holding the lantern might never let you go.
I think many of us would say no, but that curiosity, that desire to know, it might just get the better of us, wouldn't it?
Right.
We always think we can handle the truth, right up until it's staring back at us from a dark room holding a set of chains.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.
Stay safe out there.
I'll see you next time.